this video is how you connect this to that. Now, I know that not everybody gets on that well with a wrist-based heart rate monitor when they're rowing. Usually that's because of too much flexion of the wrists, or maybe you've just got very hairy wrists. Ugh. But for those who do find that it works, and for those that use a Garmin watch for their heart rate, here is how to connect your Garmin to your Concept2. Now, there are two ways that you can do this. The first is to set up the indoor rowing workout on your watch and make sure in the settings that it's set to broadcast your heart rate. But if you don't want to save it as a workout because you're going to let the PM5 or something else look after it and you just want to broadcast your heart rate, this is what to do. Now, I've got the Epix Pro Gen 2 watch, but I'm figuring that your watch is going to be the same. There may be some differences, in which case check your manual, but this is how I do it. So I press the middle left button to access the menu, and then I scroll down to settings, and then within settings I go down to sensors and accessories. Tap on that and then scroll down to wrist heart rate, and then in wrist heart rate go down to broadcast heart rate. I'm sure there's a way to set up a shortcut to make that happen, but that's the way it's happening here, okay? And that sets my watch into broadcast mode. Now, there is a button top right saying start that I have to press in order for it to broadcast, but before I do that, I'm going to set the PM5 to look for the heart rate. Okay, so for the next part, hopefully this camera will let you see. So turn on your monitor and go to Connect, and then pick Connect Heart Rate. Sits there doing nothing, but then go to your watch and click that start button in order to broadcast your heart rate. And there you can see it instantly popped up. Now, the Epix Pro gives you an ANT Plus option as well as the Bluetooth. So I'm just going to go for the Bluetooth one, connect into the Epix Pro, and then you can see it there, heart rate 50, yeah, because I'm kind of moving about a bit, so that seems about right. Confirm selection, and then let's just go back in, and then I'll just row a few strokes. And then you should see my heart rate is there on screen. And then it's climbing up because obviously it's reading my heart rate with the increased exertion. So there you go, that's the simple way for how you connect the Garmin watch to the PM5. However, what if you're using an app like ErgZone or Ergdata or Exa or any other app that begins with E? This is what to do. So let's look at the ErgZone app first, and actually this is really simple. So remember the process we've just been through in order to send the heart rate data from the watch. You follow that, then you find whatever workout you want to do. I'm just going to pick the last one that I programmed in here, which is a 45-minute row. Scan for PM5, so I have to go back to the menu and then connect, and then there we are, scan for PM5, and then hit connect on the app. That's it there, and then rest my phone down on the throat of the machine. And then when I start rowing, you can see that my heart rate is on the PM5 still, down at 40. And then that's it showing on ErgZone as well. So there's no need to try to connect the Garmin to the app. Just connect it to the PM5, and then that way it sends the data that way. So you don't have to use the chest straps, etc. You can go from your watch to the PM5, and then the PM5 gets sent to ErgZone. So next up, Ergdata. Okay then, so Ergdata, let's launch Ergdata, get in here, and you can see at the top of the screen it says connect to a performance monitor. Click on that, and I don't even have to go into the connect option on the PM5, it just sees my machine ready to select. So click on it to select, and then go back. And then in this case, because I've never connected the Garmin to it before, it pops up asking if it wants to save this as a default monitor. Now, I do tend to use something else, so I'm going to click no, and I'm going to go just row, turn it to the side, and you can see already, even before I start rowing, that my heart rate is already being broadcast to Ergdata. So here we go, row a few strokes. PM5 is still showing my heart rate, so I can see it there. And you can see it on Ergdata as well. So again, there's no need at all to connect the Garmin directly to my phone. It's all happening via the PM5. So next up, let's try Exa. Okay, so once I get into the main Exa app, it wants me to connect to my rowing machine. There we go. So now I can already see various Bluetooth things, but it's the rowing machine I'm trying to connect. So I click on the PM5 from my rowing machine, and there you go, it's connected. Now, I'm not going to connect the heart rate. I want to see what's going to happen if I just start a row on ErgZone. I'm just going to pick any old one and then see what happens, because my heart rate should still pop up on the PM5 while I'm rowing. We'll find out in a sec once we get going. Okay, so you can see my heart rate is showing on the PM5, and my heart rate is also, even though I haven't connected within the opening screen of ErgZone, my heart rate is broadcasting from the PM5 to the app. Now, of course, I've just been connecting my Garmin to my Concept2, but maybe you have a bike or a cross trainer or a treadmill or an RP3 or a water rower or anything else that accepts a Bluetooth or ANT Plus signal when it comes to heart rate. And the process is exactly the same, okay? Just set your watch to broadcast heart rate data connected to the machine, and then you can connect an app, and that will then kind of accept all the data. I do suggest doing it that way rather than connecting your heart rate to the app and then waiting for that to send it to your machine, because that way things get a little bit confused and cats end up marrying dogs, okay? Now, I do know that there are other watches out there, okay? I'm not just saying that Garmin's the only one. There's Polar, there's a whole bunch of stuff that all do the same thing. Apple gets a little bit fidgety when it comes to broadcasting your heart rate, so I'm going to make a different video on that for kind of looking at different machines and what it does. But as far as Garmin is concerned, this video is how you connect this to that.